Well, hello guys. I'm gonna be replaying through MSQ, the Endwalker MSQ on my alt back in Ragnarok, and I'll be doing it with my Reaper and my Sage, which I actually bothered to level to 80, so we can do an Endwalker while kind of showcasing the two new jobs Endwalker brought us. So it's the next ship to sail. Do you have some time to talk? I would like to gather everyone in Dawn's Respite and together assess the situation in which we find ourselves. Okay, Alfie, let's go. Alright, this will be English. Now, let us take stock of the facts, shall we? The crisis at hand began with the sudden appearance of ominous towers in a multitude of locations throughout the world. We have since learned that said such structures were brought into being by an organization known as the Telephoroi. The Telephoroi's stated purpose is to recreate the final days of eons past, an apocalyptic event that would result in the destruction of all we hold dear. Already have these towers of theirs been the cause of untold suffering. Just the music though, so good. Countless innocents kidnapped and imprisoned, their fate perverted for primal summonings. Yeah, I'm not too good at voice acting, so don't mind me. And unless we find a way to deal with the corruptive auras surrounding the spires, we can't even get close enough to rescue anyone. Those shielded with the blessing of light seem able to resist being tempered at least. Yeah? But after what happened to Arnvald and Fordola, we need to be very, very careful about how we proceed. It's fine. Nothing bad will happen. Don't worry about it. Yet, while these threats close to home are of paramount concern, we mustn't lose sight of the situation in Garlemald. Alright, we're going to Garlemald! As you know, the Telephoroi are under the leadership of Fandaniel and one other delightful fellow, Zelos Galvos, the Crown Prince and our dear friend. Yes, dear friend. At least he wants to be. Kinda. To date, he's reclaimed his old body, murdered Emperors Varys, and plunged Garlemald into an even deeper pit of chaos. The capital has probably seen the worst of it. For a good while there, it saw the bloodiest fighting in the War of Secession. But that has since changed, and in troubling ways. Aye, doing our reconnaissance, the air was not once rent by the barking of cannons or the cries of discord. 'Twas an eerie fog of silence which did blanket that ruined city. The inhabitants appeared to have been tempered, and with nary words spoken did they labor to transform the palace into a stirring edifice born of nightmares. If they were indeed made thralls, it seems safe to assume that these events too were orchestrated by the Telephoroi. An army of primals is awful enough, but in light of recent developments, I fear it is only the prelude to an even greater catastrophe, actually. We need to devise a means to counter this threat, and quickly, before our allies are overwhelmed. And here's Graha. We will find a way in Charlian, I am sure of it. Master Fortunault's comments regarding the final days were curious to say the least. The forum knows more than it is letting on. Oh, you don't say. The repository of knowledge knows more than what they're letting on. Who would have known? Who would have thought? Sorry to interrupt. Taro appears. We have just received word from Mistress Krill. She says the arrangements for your visit have been finalized. And here we go, the Endwalker team. You're to head to Limsa and board the next ship bound for Charlian. And on arrival, present yourselves as associates of the students of Baldesion. Come to assist with the Order's restoration. The arrangements may be settled, but what of your thoughts? They must race at the prospect of returning home after so long. I am eager to see it. Of course, of course. We should set that off at once. At once. Then I'll accompany you to the docks. You know at least one person there to wave and cry to wish you a safe journey. Wave and cry. Let us go. So let's just teleport to Limsa. Just checking something. Yeah, the audio seems fine. Everything seems fine. And look, lots of people in Limsa. How curious. How unexpected. So let's see what they have to say. Graha. I never thought the day would come when I would be sailing home again. It always seemed so very far away. Estinian. Sea travel can be tedious, but I don't mind it. It is a rare experience for most Ishgardians. Well, expectedly. Urianger. I shudder to think what matter of truth awaiteth us beyond the Indigo Deep. Still more do I dread the prospect of discussions long overdue. I wonder what he's talking about. Oh yeah, small aside, I'll try not to spoil much of what's coming. Despite knowing what's going to pass and whatnot. Contrary to what we might think, this will be like going home for me as well. I may have learned how to survive in Limsa, but it was in Charlian where I was taught, quite relentlessly might I add, the skills to properly live. And off we know. Though a part of me looks forward to returning home, I have not forgotten that my father stripped us of the privileges of our family name. I hope it doesn't cause trouble with the officials upon our arrival. Alizai. What a grim reason to bring you to Charlian. Not much to be done about it, I suppose, but I would have liked to give you the grand tour under happier circumstances. Oh, yeah, probably. Ishtola. I might have lived in Master Matoya's cave for a good part of my life, but even for me, the thought of returning to Charlian is quite exciting. I can hardly imagine how it is for the others who lived most of their lives there. We'll see, let's see. Then let's go on. Everyone's here, which is good because I've already paid for your passage and the fee is non-refundable. Yes, expect Tataru to worry about the gill. The ship for Charlian shall be pulling into port soon, so please follow me and have all your luggage close at hand. Yeah, generally my luggage just gets stored in the special place. Let's just say it like that.
They've almost finished loading our cargo. We should be ready to depart right on schedule. Or so I'm told.
I have actually played through this in Japanese, so English is a bit weird.
Excellent. 'Tis nice to have a smooth beginning to one's journey, at the very least.
It's funny.
How is it?
Master Louis Soir came here on a ship very much like this one.
Yeah, and I'm guessing you too.
And now, years later, the street urchin he befriended that day is bound for his mentor's homeland. With his mentor's grandchildren, no less.
Tis upon reflection that every twist of time's river and fate's whims are brought into sharp relief.
I expect the Ranger to...
Thou hast matured much in the intervening years. Wert thou not caught attempting to relieve Master Louis Soir of his purse scant moments after he made landfall upon this dock?
Oh, really? Now that's a tale I'd like to hear.
Oh god, Alize's voice just seems so out of character in English.
Will this be your first visit to Charlian, Sir Estinian?
Probably.
Sir Estinian?
I know what Estinian's going to say though.
Are we strangers newly met? Why this stiff formality?
I merely meant it as a professional courtesy, since we are now colleagues in an official sense.
I'd rather you dispense with the sirs, especially in private company.
With the sirs.
Or I'll be forced to respond in kind, little Lord Alphino.
Oh yeah, the little lord. Or little lordling. That's so good.
You've made your point, Estinian. Painfully well.
Better.
Estinian's voice is okay.
Are you alright, Tataru? You seem positively distraught.
Oh, Graha is also okay.
Distraught? Me? Don't be silly. I think it's lovely that they get to see their homeland.
The voice is okay.
It's just... we're trying to thwart the schemes of an army hell-bent on destroying the world.
Yeah, but better be cheerful when we can. No? Just maybe.
And once again, I have to stay behind and worry that this is the last time I'll get to see my friends.
Oh right, I forgot about this. Poor Totaro. Pretty much. No sense in worrying about the things we're powerless to change. But I'll bring them back safe and sound. I promise. It's a promise of the Warrior of Light.
I'll hold you to that.
Dude, please do.
Ah, good. You're still here.
Oh, look. These two fellas.
Hori! Kultine! What brings you all this way?
More science. The less important
We're to
ones.
assist the Maelstrom and the Kobolds with a lunar primal operation, so we thought we'd see you off before heading to the tower. Flamine and the others wish you all a safe journey, and promise that they'll look after things here until you return. We will too, of course. Aye, we your fellow Scions of the Seventh Dawn will do our part to ensure the end of the world won't happen on our watch.
That's nice. I'll hold you to that.
Sail! All aboard for Charlian!
bit subdued for calling the passengers. Yes, it is.
Then we must delay no longer. We will contact you the moment we learn aught of value. Wish us luck.
Let's go.
Have a safe journey, and please, please, be careful.
Yeah, that's not something we generally are. Like plunging headfirst into a horde of monsters. Seems like a careful thing to do. A good thing to do while being careful, I mean. So, and where is the crying and waving us goodbye?
And so you venture forth unto the unknown. A fate beyond the horizon that cannot be divined. A future undefined and in flux.
Well, there's the waving. No crying though.
In uncertain times, naught but the simplest words of wisdom will suffice. That which lives is destined to die. Love leads to loss. Every beginning has an end.
Let's just enjoy the cinematic.
Treasure every moment, every step of your descent.
And off we go to Charlayan. Or to the bottom of the sea.
And there, in the depths where souls and stars rest, find your truth.
Yeah, the last time we went on a journey on a boat, we actually didn't fare all that well. Kinda bumped into a dungeon. Back in Stormblood. The Siren Song Sea. So, let's see. Yeah, this music is so good.
Here. Feel. Think.
You know how a while idling.
The day has barely dawned, my fellow earlier riser.
Oh, hello, Graham.
Though we're hardly alone in that. Envious of those still sleeping soundly, no doubt.
Let the kids sleep.
Called out to you, you say? I've heard nothing myself. In any case, I dare say the sea air will do you good. Why not join the others on deck? Charlian should be coming into view
nice.
at any moment.
A good view of Charlian. I think this was actually one of my favorite cinematics in the whole of Endwalker. Mostly because of the music. Why, hello there.
My voice yet reaches you. I am glad.
Oh, chat apparently isn't working. That's bad.
Hear, feel, think. And thus do we meet face to face at last.
Yeah,
My
finally.
warrior of light, guided by the crystal.
I can trust your words no longer. I know.
After your sojourn in the first, I believe you have your answer.
Just a moment. Yeah, I have an idea.
You have gained an understanding of what I truly am, what Heidelin has always been, a primal.
Dun dun dun.
Zodiac was created to forestall the apocalypse which threatened the ancient world, and I was brought forth to bind him. Yet 7 times now, those who would orchestrate a return to that bygone era have rejoined a shard to the god I had sundered. The greater his strength grows, the swifter does mine own diminish. The power to draw your mind into the rift betwixt is no longer mine to wield.
So you can no longer just pull this.
Yet though it taxes me sorely, I dare not leave these words unsaid. Even bereft of my guidance, you and your companions have accepted the burden of this star's troubled past. A conjunction has begun to form, an intertwining of your time and mine. Wheels shudder and turn. Conflict looms, monumental, which will decide the fate of this world and all life upon it.
Again.
When you truly understand what is at stake, and your journey has prepared you to surmount the insurmountable, then shall I honor the promise made in another time, another age.
Yeah, I know what this is about. You guys will see.
Cast your peepers to the fore, folks.
Your peepers.
I will not keep you further. Your traveler's heart must yearn to behold this unfamiliar land. We shall meet again, and soon.
Okay. Soon. You know how soon goes. It's gonna be a while. Now we'll get to see Charlene, I believe.
Oh, what a fine morning. Oh, still a bit stiff though.
Yeah, she sounds way too old.
And a good morning to you too. Taken a look at the island already?
Then
No,
let's go.
I was looking at
Let's
something
go.
else.
Might still be room in the prow if we're lucky.
Maybe.
Ah, the sleepers have arisen. There she is. Good old Charlene.
And here we go, the Endwalker theme
I
again.
see it.
Maybe not in Father's eyes, but we'll manage on our own, if we must.
You do know you're not alone.
That
in
throw
this,
back
don't you?
to the if we must again.
Indeed, 'tis as Sir Estinian said. Forget not the comrades who boarded this ship at your side, I prithee.
Thank you, my friends. We are ever grateful for your steadfast support.
Upon arrival, we will be disembarking into the heart of Sharlayan proper. There is no greater concentration of wisdom in all the world. I am confident that somewhere within that center of knowledge and learning, we will find the
Wisdom
answers we seek.
or knowledge, though? Is it really wisdom? Ah, that foreshadowing. And here we go into Endwalker proper.
Sharlayan, the solitary island nation of the northern seas. Where under the watchful gaze of Thaliak, patron deity of scholars, academics hoard all manner of knowledge and secrets. Once, they deigned to accept foreign students into a distant colony maintained in the Dravanian hinterlands.
Idleshire.
How swiftly they abandoned it once the first Garlean boot set hostile foot on Alamegan soil.
Typical Sharlayan.
So averse to the prosecution of war, these men of wisdom, your would-be allies.
Would be indeed.
I thought they'd never let us off the ship. What's next then? Entry applications?
Yep.
Hopefully they find no cause to deny us.
Hopefully.
Hasn't Sharlayan all but severed relations with foreign powers? Those of us without direct ties, myself included, may be refused outright.
You're worrying too much, Estinian.
'Tis true that, as a nation, Sharlayan only forms trade agreements with a select few neutral countries. But from a practical standpoint, an island cannot afford to be overly strict with its borders. Especially not if that island's people are wholly devoted to the accumulation of knowledge. If one submits the proper paperwork, with satisfactory evidence of identity and intent, then foreigners may be granted entry.
Just a second. Oh. Okay. May.
Quite. So let us be absolutely clear on these points before we proceed.
Huh?
The immigration officer will ask for your affiliation and your purpose of visit. Considering Sharlayan's views on intervention, I strongly suggest we avoid any mention of the Scions.
Well, probably a good idea.
Kral has laid the groundwork for us to act as associates of the students of Baldessian, and our ostensible reason for being here is to aid in their order's restoration.
Seems legit. How will we do that though? Would we do that though? because that's not
Right,
what they're going to
it
do.
might expedite our progress should an actual student be seen at the head of our little group. Would you mind leading the way?
Of course. The immigration officers were this way, as I recall. Shall we?
Yes, we shall. We shall go on.
Greetings. We've just arrived and are eager to make our way into the city. Would you be so kind as to process our entry applications?
Let's see what we get over here.
Certainly. I see by your mark you are an Archon.
Yeah.
I am. Grahat here of the Students of Baldassian at your service. I was assigned to an Eorzean survey team, but have returned to assist with the reformation of my order. My associates here will provide additional support.
The strict face.
I have paperwork detailing your group and its scheduled arrival for today. And it seems some few of your companions are also Archons. If you'll step forward, we can process those applications first.
Huh. Uns quantos.
Ishtola rule.
Only Stola gets an introduction.
See how it glows? That list is etherically linked with a citizen registry kept in the main repository.
Oh. It's a magical computer, guys.
I've confirmed your status as Archons and amended your travel records accordingly. Welcome home.
Okay.
Now, who do we have here?
Yes. You're known. They're known. They're quite well known.
Alphino Leveilleur.
Here they are.
And Alize Leveilleur.
Your applications have also been approved. Having said that, the streets are abuzz with talk of how House Leveilleur's lord disowned his young progeny.
Well, this is what it is.
And while such personal circumstances constitute no reason to deny you entry, I urge you to avoid exacerbating your present situation. Times are quite troubled enough already.
Oh. Trouble times in Charlia? I wonder what's up with that.
We shall keep that in mind.
Yeah, I don't think
These are
Alize
still not
will.
Charlian natives, but you will find their credentials are in order. An application was made in advance.
Name and occupation?
Yeah, this part is nice. Adventurer by trade. Artisan. Champion of Eorzea. Yeah, we should pick Champion of Eorzea. Probably not. Adventurer by trade. I'm also a bit of an artisan, if I would say myself.
An adventurer. Well, I suppose that is considered a valid calling in your native Eorzea. And it does indeed match the profile provided.
Well,
You may enter.
a valid calling in your native Eorzea. So condescending.
And you, sir?
He gets
Justinian
called a
Barlow,
sir.
formerly of the Order of the Knights Dragoon in Ishgard.
Formally, at least. And what, pray tell, is your profession?
Alright. He's a vagabond now. Think, Estinian. Think.
If you'll allow me.
Oh, look, it's Krill.
My associate is a mercenary, hired for his strength at arms. Surely you are aware of the dangers we often face on our forays into the wilderness.
Mistress Baldessian, if you insist on sponsoring his entry, then so be it.
If you insist on sponsoring. Okay.
But while I appreciate that desperate times call for desperate measures, I find your choice of company concerning. Be advised that even a single misstep may have severe repercussions for your organization.
That's aggressive.
I have every confidence in my chosen company, dear and trusted comrades that they are. But I thank you for your concern.
Croyle, it is good to see you.
Krill. Sounds weird.
Likewise. Long voyage notwithstanding, you all seem none the worse for wear.
Here's to hoping.
There is much to discuss, but this is hardly the place. Let's be on our way, shall we?
Where to, though? Yeah.
Welcome, friends, to Sharlayan.
As your mercenary, I should hope my welcome includes a general.
Well, I had to say something, Sir Taciturn.
Sir Taciturn. I don't know why that isn't on the subtitle. And here we are in in Sharlayan. Yeah, the night theme is so much better than the day theme. So let's see what Estinian has to say. I'm unaccustomed to fabricating lies on demand. Why should it matter how I earn my living? Well, technically you are kind of a mercenary, Estinian, so I wouldn't say it's a lie per se. Graha, here we are at last. In the great city of Sharlayan. You may have noticed some similarities with the Crusarium, yes? In fact, Oh, but we really should let Krill have her say first. We can continue this conversation at another time. Let's see what Alize and then Afino have to say. What as awkward as expected. Still, we're here now, and that's all that matters. Afino, I'm fine, honestly. Better to be waved through with a stern warning than be denied entry, after all. True. Even allowing that the years I spent in the first passed here in a blink of an eye, the city feels untouched by time. Allow me to extend unto thee my warmest welcome. May the wisdom of my homeland aid us in our endeavors. And Istola, you are doubtless eager to take in the sights. Not to worry, the city is not like to vanish before we finish our discussion. Probably. I'm glad I spotted your ship coming into port. The officers are born bureaucrats and sticklers for detail. In any case, you may relax and take a moment to get your land legs back. Alright, and we get a weapon. A weapon coffer. Krill sweeps the scions with a speculative look. Old Sharlayan new to you. I had thought to launch directly into an explanation of what I've learned and how I might proceed. But this is Ephia's and Estinian's first time in Sharlayan, and for the rest of you, a homecoming that was long overdue. You must have places you wish to visit and people you're dying to see. Therefore, I propose we postpone our agenda so that you may have sufficient time to recover from your journey and get your bearings in the city. once you've settled in, we can reconvene at Baldesian's Annex. How does that sound? This is a fine suggestion. We may not be welcome at Leveo Estate as such, but I should like to nose around the neighborhood all the same. I am equally untethered, as it were. There is no particular place that my kin call home. Still, I would not pass the opportunity to reacquaint myself with the city. Likewise, a quick tour of our old haunts might even yield some useful gossip. The annex was west of the Aetherite Plaza, wasn't it? I shall join you there anon. Yes, we'll see you there. What's up, Urianger? Or Urianger? I too have places I would be remiss in not visiting forthwith. By thy leave. He talks in such a complicated manner. What of you, Estinian? My services as a guide are yours for the asking. That won't be necessary. Until we reconvene, I prefer to wander as the wind takes me. That seems like a good idea. But I could... Oh. Well, Raha, would you like to join us then? You've been gone for quite a while, and this would be the perfect way to refresh those dusty old memories of yours. Oh yeah, right. Actually, he was kind of asleep. No, of course, if you will have me. Come, Mafia, Charlian awaits. Just checking something. Quickly. Moment. Just a small moment. Alright. I really liked Charlian's night theme. Oh dear, his enthusiasm is infectious, isn't it? Hello, Graha. After you, my friend. I am more than content to follow your lead. Alright, we have a pet now. We have a pet Graha now. Let's see. What do you have to say? Do not forget Mr. Skrill, our worthy guide. And you also have a pet krill. All set, then let us be on our way. Our first stop, amusingly enough, will be the last stand. It's a cafe on the west side of the harbor. Okay, so we're gonna be talking to them a bunch of times. Come on, let's head to the cafe. It may not seem so at a glance, but the last stand is actually a very important part of the city. Alright. So that's where we are. Where it is. Wamim. Wamim. What do you have to say? Greetings, traveler, and welcome to Charlian. If it's knowledge you seek, you've come to the right place. Okay, so it's kind of a guard. Okay. Discuss the giant statue. Now that's one side one could hardly forget, the great statue of Taliak. As a student of Baldesian, I was usually quartered on the Isle of All, but I would gaze upon the scholar's wise features every time I returned by ship to the city. Okay, pity we're just looking at the backside. It would be nice if we were like this, so we can actually look at it. This path leading out towards the sea is known as the Taliak Stoa, so named for the statue of the scholar which stands at this end. As you know, the Charlian people prize the accumulation of wisdom above all else. Thus, when Taliak was chosen as our patron deity, it was more a matter of pragmatism than belief, an alignment of principles, as it were. We may have honored him with a rather impressive sculpture, yes, but our faith is not so restrictive as that of, say, the Ishgardians. Individual Sharlians can, and do, worship the divinities of their choosing. Alright. You have anything else to say? Okay, still the same. And you're still the same as well, right? Yeah, wait. I'm grateful to have Kill's help in reacquainting myself with this place. It's almost as if I'm seeing it all with new eyes, as you are. Yeah, not really, but yeah, sure. So this is the last stand? A cafe. Yeah, it's actually a nice spot to hang around, I would say. What do you have to say? Ah yes, the last stand. That is an inviting aroma. And here we are, the last stand. I may have mentioned this before, but although our research into nutrition and food preparation is quite extensive, the average Charlian tends to regard seasoning and flavor with a certain indifference. Oh yeah, the Archant loaf, the Archon loaf. How can I put this? The food is, it's bland. As encapsulated by our infamous Archon loaf, the prevailing sentiment towards cuisine is dietary value first, and the taste a distant second. There was one pupil at the stadium, however, who could stomach the school's insipid meals no longer, so he quit his lessons and poured all his savings into building a proper eatery. And so the last stand came to be. It is, as the name implies, the sole dedicated outpost of fine dining in Charlian, the one and only bastion of the culinary arts in an isle of otherwise mediocre fare. I seem to recall their burger being hailed as one of the most impressive items on the menu. Not that I ever had the pleasure of eating one myself. Because you are a typical Charlian when it came to cheap and convenient, Raha. But surely Tataru has since taught you how to appreciate a well-prepared dish. We should all stop when the time permits and sample the cafe's delight. Shall we press on? The stairs to the side of the cafe are there to take us up to the Aetherite Plaza. Do you have anything else? The students of Baldesian will send us to investigate phenomena in locations across the world, so our funds were always stretched thin, and any spare coin I had went to books that caught my eye. Food was the least of my concerns, though now, having lived through some rather harrowing times, I've learned what a fortunate thing it is to be able to eat your fill. Yeah, but we're talking about taste, Graha. On the Aetherite Plaza we go. We just need to head up the stairs next to the last stand. So, those stairs? Yeah, just let me... I kinda forgot to grab that one. Might as well grab the Aetherites, the small Aetherites we see. It will be useful for later on. Dun, 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 dun. It's actually pretty nice. We were able to reach this place while it's still nighttime. Very much enjoy the music. Oh, I simply adore sitting here and watching them unload the cargo. It really gives you a sense of Charlian's work ethic, although I can shake the feeling there are more crates than usual. Yeah, no one's there, dude. But sure. Here we are. What do you have to say? No. Nearly messed that up. The Aetherite looks different from how I remember it. An unusual shape, isn't it? I assure you, however, that it's a perfectly functioning Aetherite. Remember to tune yourself before we move on. Now, being the diligent tour guide that I am, I should make mention of the Confluence, a research facility located on this very plaza. Its much vaunted discoveries are the reason Charlian stands at the forefront of teleportation technology. In deciphering the underlying principles of elegant Aetherites, it allowed us to understand and reconstruct what was essentially a lost art. And off we go to our next destination. Our path leads northeast to the Agora, Charlian's largest marketplace. Let us enjoy the Aetherite and Yeah, it is a bit of a weird shape. Well, but they have to innovate every time, right? So let's get it. And I'm actually going to turn this into my home point. No longer need the Crystarium. That's old news. All about Endwalker now. Hello friends, are you enjoying the sight of the city? As a proud resident, I'm always happy when visitors take a liking to Charlie and his many wonders. Alright. Alright, let's send these guys to work while we're here. Yeah. I really need to change the Fisher. I just wanna get it to 90 and see what you can get with it on Endwalker. See if it's worth it. Okay, talk. Oh, the markets. I always did look forward to seeing what new wares they had on offer. Yeah, I just wanna buy books. Ah, okay. You tuned yourself to the Otherite, so let us go on to the Agora. These little open-air bookstalls are so uniquely Charlayan. I'd always thought them a common sight until I visited other nations. Yeah, not really a normal thing. Do you mind if I browse the shelves for a moment? There might be some hidden gems I've yet to read. Only a moment? How optimistic. Feel free to browse all you like, but we won't wait around for you. Ah, perhaps I'll return a little later then. Yeah, probably. Let's see if they have. Okay, no. So there we go. This is the way. Welcome to the Agora, where you can find wares made in Charlian as well as a wide selection of imported goods. Forgot to talk with Ra. They also used to sell questionable prototypes from the various research institutes, but I think that practice has thankfully died out, for the most part. Otherwise I can think of no better place to stock up for your next big adventure. Am I overselling it? On a more serious note, the next stop on our tour is one which has particular relevance to our ultimate purpose here. We must head back to the Otherite Plaza, follow the path north, then climb the stairs up to that imposing building at the very top. Okay. It is a fascinating experience to walk around the city and contrast my image of the past with the reality of the present. The building we're looking for sits at the top of the stairs to the north of the Otherite. Just keep walking up and you'll reach it eventually. Alright. So let us go. To the district we're passing through, it's called Arkan's Design, a name which honors the 7 individuals whose contributions were instrumental in the founding of Charlayan. It is the city's political and financial center, and it also hosts a collection of research institutions. So, this way. Good thing we do have a dash. Oh, let's see if they keep on. Let's see, do you have anything else? Yeah. And you... The building you're looking for sits at the top of the stairs to the north of the Otherite. Just keep walking up and you'll reach it eventually. Yeah. Alright, so let's climb up the stairs. Research must needs be conducted efficiently. I surround myself with the sweet scent of flowers to calm myself down. Helps me keep an open mind, you see. Alright. Yeah, it actually looks nice. Very Roman-like. Charlayan. This is actually a pretty nice view of the city, I would say. What do you guys think? It actually looks quite nice, especially during the night, where everything is lit up. know if you guys agree. But I really like the ambience in Charlian. Way more than Radzatan. Oh wait. Oh. Bit of a spoiler, I guess. Sorry. Talk. Ah, an invigorating breeze. A touch biting perhaps, but pleasant nonetheless. This grand structure before you is the Rostra. Name refers to the original public platform erected here, upon which a forum of elected representatives would deliver orations and debate policy. Although the stage has since evolved into council chambers, the nature of the forum and the duties of its members remain largely unchanged. And I'm boring you, Raha? You seem awfully distracted. My apologies. From here one can see the entire city spread out below. Yeah. The vista put me in mind of my arrival in the first. Those who had gathered at the Crystal Tower asked me how they might go about building a new home. Naturally, my answers were all inspired by my knowledge of the finest settlement I could think of, the great city of Charlian. And bit by bit, those few buildings grew into a town, a community, the Crystarium. I can now almost see its echo. I see. Feel free to come up here whenever you wish. I don't think the councillors will object to you simply enjoying the view. Such memories should be treasured. For now, however, the tour must go on. Our spectacle of sightseeing concludes with a fittingly named Journey's End. Walk down the stairs to the east and continue straight ahead. Talk. Do you not feel the cold? Granted, it's not terribly chilly for these northern climes, but compared to the tempered weather of Lim Solominsa. The district of Journey's End occupies the eastern block of the city, so all we need to do is take the stairs down from the Rasta and keep heading east, of course. Alright. Let's go then. Are you keeping up? Nah, I should probably not dash. I don't want to lose them on the way. And have to go back and grab them again. And here we are at Journey's End. Oh wait, let me just check something. Yeah, okay, their dialogue that hasn't changed. Now we might head. This neighborhood is some to the highest echelons of Charlian society. I never did feel comfortable enough to wander these streets on a whim. You've arrived at Journey's End. History tells us that this was where those who put ashore with Archon Nyunkrep build their first homes. In the present day, it serves as the residential district for the most important officials and the oldest Charlian families. You'll see that one mansion is clearly larger than its neighbors. That estate belongs to our friends from House Leveilleur. All things considered, we should probably keep our distance for the time being. And with that, we bring our little Charlian tour to a close. I hope it has proven to be an entertaining and enlightening experience. I forgot to attune to the Netherite at the roaster, didn't I? Now shall we head directly to Baldesinar's annex? You remember the way, don't you, Raha? Let me think. We head down towards the harbor to cross the bridge to our right and follow the path below the Netherite Plaza? Correct. After you. Have I tired you out with all this walking? Not to worry, I had rooms prepared for you at the annex. Just follow the path to the west side of the Netherite and we'll be there in no time. Ah, the good old annex. I used to bunk there whenever I had business in the city proper. Like the time I came to submit the thesis for my Archon qualification. Okay. Yeah, I forgot to grab that. Oh well, at least I didn't forget this one. At the very least. Nice. Right on time to be able to port back. Yeah, they'll gradually catch up, so let's sprint a bit. So we go down. Yeah, there's another point there. So what do you have here? Discuss journey's end. Right. We cross this bridge here, and I call stick to the path and be careful not to end up back in the Netherite Plaza. Charlian is full of educational and research institutions, but there are still professors who prefer to establish their own private practices. Not that I ever attended the exclusive schools they run in these residences. Perhaps the twins could tell you more about them. This on the twins reach upbringing. Yeah, okay. Let me just check. The dialogue didn't change. Yeah, it didn't. So off we go. So we go, yeah, we go below. Actually, pretty nice city. Oh no, the good nighttime music is almost ending. Okay, here we are in the Baldesian Annex. Fuck. This is it, the Baldesian Annex. Oh, you don't say, Graha. As the joyous look on Ra's face has undoubtedly informed you, this is the Baldesian Annex. If you continue up the hill, you'll arrive at the doorstep of Phenomenon. But I think we've explored enough for one day. We can take you there another time. Inside with you then. I should have grabbed the Netherite. I'm back and I've brought Effie and Raha with me. You're right about the ship then. Hello Raha. It's nice to see you again. And it's a pleasure to finally meet you, Effie. I've heard many a tale of your exploits. Ojika? Ojika Tsunjika? It's been an age! Allow me to introduce Ojika Tsunjika, Administration Officer for the students of Baldesian. He oversees the day-to-day business of the Annex. You may recall meeting his cousin, Ejika? Oh yes, Erika. I've heard the initial reports. Quite a shock to hear what's become of the Isle. Do take care if you have the opportunity to rejoin the expedition. This place is like a second home for the students. The Isle of Val served as our main headquarters, but we often had occasion to visit Charlayan. Whether to make use of the city's research facilities, attend conferences, or procure supplies from distant shores. And the annex here was built to provide lodgings for our members while we engage in such activities. Ever since our former headquarters, along with the Isle itself, vanished, the annex has served as our base of operations. And yet it feels so empty. With so many lost to us, our organization is a shell of its former self. Yeah. The day will come when we will see the students rise again. But first, we must ensure that the Telephoroi fall. Through that door on the left there is the main hall, where we can discuss our options moving forward. Okay. Once everyone arrives, that is, you probably have time to rest before our discussions begin in earnest. So, on the right. I've had private quarters prepared for you in the Andron, so please feel free to make yourself at home. Alright. The nap rooms. Perfect for an afternoon doze. Or doze. Oh, I didn't mean to give you the wrong impression. The chambers are quite well appointed. Far more so than some cheap roadside inn, you may be assured. So simply we were often so busy with research or exhausted from journeys abroad that we would slip into the Archon just to steal a few winks. And thus they became known amongst the students as nap rooms, even if many such naps might last well into the following morning. So sleep. Say the word and I'll be happy to show you to your chamber. Hopefully the others won't be too long in coming. I'll wait for you all in the main hall. Okay. Alright, so first things first. We're gonna grab the Netherite outside, just so we don't forget it. Ah, nice. Okay. Okay, let's talk to Graham. Do you have papers pasted on the walls of your room? That's not unusual for occupants to pin up notes or documents and such, and then forget to take them while they went on their merry way. Sometimes it was quite deliberate, though. You might see complaints addressed to other members or a thank you card for the engrossing literature somewhere left behind. Beloved traditions that I should know better than to dwell upon. If we are to create a future for the students of Baldesion and so many others, we must look to the days ahead. Yeah, but you must also treasure the past. So, oh, you can take a rest, but not really. Oh wait. Oh. Are you ready to take a nap? As Grah has planned, and will furnish it for folks needing a break from all-night research or recently returned from expeditions. The students are used to seeing those walls plastered with articles and diagrams and personal messages, but I imagine it's quite a surprise for our newer guests. Why not take them down, you ask? Well, it's often the same people who stay in these chambers after all. And besides, when I see old notes written by friends who've since passed, it's comforting in a way, as if they're still here with us. Oh, and just to be clear, these are properly appointed bedrooms. Any mention of naps is not meant to dissuade you from getting a full night's sleep. Now, let's just see the room. Clean sheets and warm blankets await. Rest as long as you like. It's actually pretty nice. Not too sure what this is. It's a pretty interesting place. But yeah, it's just your regular inn, pretty much. It's actually better than Shadowbringer since you have the glam dresser and whatnot. So you have everything here you have on a regular inn. I was under the impression this was opened up. Unfortunate. Oh well. Well, just a small intro to the place. Off we go. Back to continue the MSQ. Enter the main hall. Not sure if you get the cinematic. Ah, no, not yet. Yeah, this room is awesome. Bunch of posters and whatnot. Some really good looking ones. Elegant stuff. Crystal Tower. Bunch of pictures, and then the world map. It's actually pretty well thought of place, and there's Garuda. Hello, Krill. Feeling refreshed and alert? Our colleagues should be wandering in soon, so I suggest we stay here and wait for them to join us. Alright. So let's wait for them to join us. You're late.
Pray forgive me. I was delayed.
Alright.
It's fine, Oriange. We're all here now.
I'm just gonna put this on autoplay. It's better. Feels better.
Let's get down to business then, shall we? Come what may, we must prevent the Telophoroi's plans from coming to fruition. At present, I see two paths for gathering the information which may aid us in achieving that goal. The first involves an investigation into the change which has come over Sharlayan, not to mention the recent inscrutable behavior of the Forum. As most of you know, the 99 members of the Forum are elected from the general populace. This alone guarantees a plethora of opinion with regards to foreign policy. The bibliotheques, for example, are a group of conservatives which would have Sharlayan focus on recording history, while remaining entirely uninvolved in the making of it. And at the other extreme, we have advocates for proactive diplomacy and direct intervention. My grandfather Galef was one such member.
So a bit of everything.
Yet despite our diverse factions and philosophies, the recent vote to deny Eorzea's request for assistance was unanimous. Even more concerning was the fact that many cited other, more pressing duties as justification for their recalcitrance.
That's interesting.
Fortuno's refusal in Gridania had those same undertones. 'Twas as if, having stared unblinking into the face of impending doom, he had simply turned away to pursue something more important. But what could that possibly be?
We'll discover it eventually.
Mystery indeed, and one which I ask for your help to solve. Our future may depend on it. As for our second potential path, it concerns a request made directly to the students of Baldesion.
Direct request to the students of
Our
Baldesion.
organization was founded primarily to study strange and unexplained phenomena the world over. Mysterious relics and ruins, arcane disturbances, and so forth. Compared to our more isolationist Sharlayan colleagues, we have strong connections overseas, namely with scholars and academics who share our passion for the unknown.
Okay.
The request in question comes from one such acquaintance, Nadana, an alchemist residing in distant Thavnair. Her missive describes the sudden appearance of a tower and the subsequent summoning of what I can only assume is a lunar primal.
So we have towers here as well.
In response to this threat, the Satrap of Rads at Han, the individual who governs the city-state, has instructed the alchemists to find a means to deal with the spire.
So,
the
okay.
artisans of that land are heirs to an ancient tradition, one rather unlike that of their Uldan counterparts. 'Tis possible, nay, probable, that they have gleaned truths unattainable by Eorzea or...
In Ulda we have weavers, we have goldsmiths, alchemists, I would...
They do, in fact, appear to have a strategy in mind, though it will require further research. To that end, they have requested an introduction to a capable warrior shielded by the blessing of light.
We're gonna be guinea pigs, aren't we?
Assuming we divide our forces to pursue both of Kral's lines of inquiry, then having you join the group heading to Thavnair would seem the obvious choice.
Okay.
But the investigation in Sharlayan is of vital importance as well. Equal, I think, to the Thavnarian one, given that the fate of the world may hinge on the results of both.
Okay. So what should we start with?
It is quite the quandary. Though it is a great imposition and an altogether too common one, our efforts would be more likely to succeed were you to lead the charge on both fronts.
So you want me on both assignments? I cannot yet split myself, you know, Krill.
As to which task to tackle first, we will defer to your decision. Let us next decide how everyone else might best be assigned.
Ah, okay.
As for myself, I shall continue what I've begun in Sharlayan. I should also like to steal the services of an Archon or two.
And thereby gain access to a greater range of reading material. I will help with that.
Oh, okay, so you guys are gonna do research. I'll leave you to it.
Offer my assistance. I have some small amount of experience in the field of research.
Some small amount. I bet it's a small amount.
Alice and I would also like to help, if you would have us.
Anything to understand even a fraction of what our father and the Forum might be thinking.
Alright.
Of course, the more the merrier.
Right. The rest of us will make the journey to Thavner.
So where should we start?
Objections?
I passed through Thavner on my way to infiltrate the Empire, and though I'm not qualified to give a guided tour, I did gain a sense of where things lie.
So we have a guide. Kinda.
I'll be happy to have you along then. So for this group, it will be you, me, and Urianger.
Urianger.
Give me a moment afterwards, and I'll supply you with all the details of Nadana's request.
Okay.
Consider this hall our rendezvous point once our respective tasks are complete. May our investigations prove fruitful.
Okay. So, where do you guys think we should start? Charlian or Thavner? Or Thavner? I'm not too sure. Old Charlian, new to you. And the chest. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be using much of those, so let's see what people have to say beforehand. Though I have read much of the subject on the subject of Radzatan, this visit shall be my first. It will be interesting to see how the Anish mean to contend with the tower, different as a magical and technological disciplines are. So it's back to Thavner. Had I known earlier, I would have considered more suitable attire. Well, they still have time. Tancred. Okay, we'll grab this in a moment. Alizé. I still don't understand how the vote could be unanimous. What could possibly convince them all to turn their backs on Eorzea? If the Forum is intent on concealing its intentions, then a cursory investigation will avail us little, I suspect. We'll need to dig deeper. We gotta dig deeper, fellas! And with the greatest of care. The process by which Forum members are elected is fair and equitable. Neither wealth nor social standing offers any advantages to a prospective candidate. But fairly elected or not, Master Matoya still found them all to be insufferable. Yeah, Master Matoya is awesome. On our tour of the city was a pleasant distraction. I feel more than ready now to tackle the challenges of the day. Okay, so now we have two options. I think we can grab both of the quests. Not too sure if I should start. I'll probably start with Charlian, since we're already here. So, but let's grab Thavner first. No, let's grab Charlian first, just in case. Kryle is intent on uncovering the reason behind the Forum's inexplicable behavior. An unsettling change has come over Charlian, but together we will divine the underlying cause for the Forum's callousness. As I mentioned before, however, questioning the councillors directly is a fruitless endeavor. They seem to have already come to consensus as to what and how little they are willing to divulge. Which is why I began scouring Charlian's archive of historical records for any hint of a connection to the final days. Suffice it to say that progress has been slow. There are only so many dusty pages one can skim in a day. But now that I have this band of willing reinforcements, the search should proceed all the swifter. Let us reconvene outside Nomenon, shall we? Exit the annex to the right and you'll find the archives on the western edge of the woods. Actually, let me check something. No, not this. This. Can I abandon it? No, I can't. Alright. So then I'm gonna stop the stream here, take a small break, and then I'll probably resume this quest, just so it's all, because I also wanna put this up on YouTube for later viewing. So guys, I'm gonna stop the stream for like 15 minutes, half an hour, and I'll be resuming it in a bit. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.